Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk. This episode of Let's Talk is going to be the way I perceive things as a child slash teenager to the way I perceive things as an adult. I made this little Venn diagram. I don't know if you can see it. So I will talk about the things that I view the same in both, and then go over the things I view differently. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah. So, excuse me. TV. I'm still into the same stuff I was when I was a kid and when I was a teenager. Horror movies sit at the top. Action. I still like the action movies, cartoons. So my philosophy, my taste in TV has not changed. TV movies. Another thing that hasn't changed is money. I grew up not having any money. So whenever I got anything, I cherished it. And I still do. I realized at a young age, probably in my teens, that what I have, I need to take care of, and it will last longer. Because I don't know when I'm going to get more of it. So, I also had jobs when I was younger too. Worked with my dad a lot. Was a overnight stock boy for a convenience store. Was a dishwasher. Helped my father. He went in the houses, and like somebody'd move out and leave all their crap there. He'd go in there and clean the house out. I'd help him with that. I helped him when he was a maintenance man. So I've painted. I have fixed, repaired. I even helped him with doing a parking lot. That was fun. So yes, I learned at a younger age that how to respect, how to handle money. Truth has always been important to me. Always felt that you need to be honest, no matter what. Even if the people you're being honest with are not being honest back, you just need to just be honest and be honest with yourself first, and then be honest with everybody else. My taste in food has not changed. I always like to try things when I was little. My grandfather talked me into, me and my sisters into picking up onions off the ground and eating them. They were they looked like grass, like thick grass. It wasn't like the white onions. It was, I don't know, it was weird. My stance on the military has not changed. I respect the military. I respected it then. I understood it then. I understand it now. These kind of coincide. Video games and music, that hasn't changed either. I'm really into old school rock. I like 90s grunge, and I like 2000s rock and roll. Video games, I'm still into the same video games. Final Fantasy, WWE. Just like now with being older, I really like the stuff I used to play when I was little. Or younger. I have Sega Classic. I have mini Nintendo, mini Super Nintendo, and a mini PlayStation. So I'm trying to get a hold of a mini Atari that would fit my collection. And then action figures. So we didn't have a lot of money. So my grandfather and father always did rummage sales in flea markets. So they would come back. The one thing that sticks out in my mind when my grandfather came back with this big giant box, and it had nothing but He-Man action figures in it. I had Grayskull Castle was in it, and he got it for cheap, and I got it. But I used to have boxes and boxes of action figures because they were cheap back then, and I'd spend hours playing with them. Me and my buddy would sit on the opposite. I had the basement. I lived in the basement, so we'd sit on opposite sides of the basement. We'd put up forts, and we'd have our action figures, and then we throw like small sized animals or bouncy balls. And if the action figure got knocked over, he was dead. Last guy standing wins. I still collect them to this day. I have my wrestling action figure collection going. I have my Power Ranger action figure going. I have 3 Power Rangers. I have Jason, the Red Ranger, with the Green Ranger's shield, or his armor. I have the green, and I have the White Ranger. I have, I think, 20 plus wrestlers. I have almost the scale ring, because it lights up. It's the Raw one. I'm going to get the SmackDown one. I have built like an arena to go around the table that I haven't put together yet. I put this audience and stuff on it, and I'm just waiting for it to dry, and then I'm going to put it all together and post that. That would be fun. Let's talk about things that I see differently. Love is one of the biggest things I see differently. When I was little, I used to think that my parents were it. That was normal. My parents met when they're 16, and they've been together ever since. My father's only been with one woman. So I used to think that. So when I found my high school crush, I thought that was it. Little though I know that is not the it. That is the exception to the rule. What is it is love will find you at any age. It's not an age restriction. Love is all sorts of kinds of different things. You just need to love yourself first, and then you can find that other person. So, sex when I was younger, I thought it was gross. That's not the case anymore. That was actually, this leads into the second thing of females. I was kind of afraid of them, and the first time I seen a vagina, it kind of scared me. Now I know better. Now I know. But I was just, I wasn't ready. Kind of found that stuff a little too early, and it kind of freaked me out. School, I find differently. Back then, I thought it was a waste of time, except for math, gym, science, and history. Math, you use all the time, so it made sense to me. History, don't want to repeat it, so it made sense to me. Science was fun. It's how you discover new things, invent new things. And then gym, keep up your physical fitness. Now I know that it's all important. I'm going to school now so I can better myself and better my future. So, yes. Friends. Back then, in the early ages, before high school, I was a complete shut-in because I moved too much. So, I had a few friends, but I didn't want to really make some because I was afraid that we're going to move. High school, we finally settled down in the 8th grade and didn't move from then. So I gathered up a group of friends. I thought back then the more friends you had, the better. Now I know differently. Now I know that the group of friends I have are my close-knit friends. I have moved away from a lot of my friends. All the friends moved away from me. I realize that friends have lives after high school, that we drift, we all have our own thing. And I also realized that a small group of friends is more impactful than a huge group of friends, because the bigger pool of friends, the more likely you're going to have people in there who don't give a crap about you, who will use you. So, tight-knit friends. Kids, when I was younger, I didn't want any. Kids now, I love my children. My children are one of the best parts of me. Being old. I always had this thing I used to joke around when I was younger, as a teenager. The moment I got old and wrinkly was it. That was the end. Now I know that living and growing, that being old is not that bad. I've learned a lot of things as I've gotten older. Let's see. Politics. My views of politics have changed. As a young man, I was more left. Women were right no matter what. You have to protect them. As I got older, I realized that protecting my sister didn't help her. So my younger sister, I taught her how to protect herself. I've now come to the realization that just because my life has gone a certain way doesn't mean everybody else is. And that you cannot please everybody. We have to make a line, and that's got to be it. You can't cross it. It's got to be logic. Because feelings are different. Everybody's got a different feeling about different stuff. So, younger me was anti-government. I kind of am, in a way, still anti-government, because I still believe that they just tried to split us. Then it was just, I didn't really give a crap. It had nothing to do with me. Yeah. So those are my thoughts as a child versus my thoughts now. What are some of the things you view differently as an adult that you didn't as a child, or vice versa? Leave comments in the comment section below. I'll hit anybody up who wants to chat. And with that being said, much love. JD out.